Hey, look at you doing your research and being a good merchant. That's nice to see because choosing an e-commerce platform is a big decision. Of course, you've heard of Shopify. Everyone has heard of Shopify, but I'm assuming you're here because you've also heard of BigCommerce and you're wondering how they compare to each other. Hopefully, I can make your life just a little bit easier because in this video, I'm going to give you 5 reasons why you should choose Shopify versus BigCommerce. Pull yourself up a chair and let's talk about it. In this series, we've been exploring reasons why you would choose one e-commerce platform over another. With both Shopify and BigCommerce being SaaS platforms, this discussion is a bit more subtle and nuanced. In this video, I'm going to give you 5 reasons to choose Shopify, and then at the end of the video, I'll link you to another one where I give you 5 reasons you should choose BigCommerce. Hopefully, those reasons help make your decision just a little bit easier. I'm making sure to mention in all of these videos that no one is unbiased, myself included. I have my favorite platforms. In this case, we're BigCommerce partners, don't do so much with Shopify. However, I'm not here to sell you anything. I want you to end up on the absolute best platform for you. Now, I'll roll through these 5 things that I think are Shopify's biggest advantages, but it's not these things that have me most excited about the Shopify platform. At the end of this video, we'll discuss the big picture thing that I think really makes Shopify stand out over all the other e-commerce platforms. Now, I'm sure as we go along, I'll give them numbers, but these are really in no particular order, so let's just get into it. And the first reason to choose Shopify over BigCommerce are some functionality differences. Now, there are a couple of features here worth pointing out. First, Shopify provides automatic abandoned cart recovery at a lower price point than BigCommerce. Abandoned cart emails are important, and if you're on the entry-level plans, it's included with Shopify, but not with BigCommerce. Now, once you move up to the mid-level plans, then both platforms include this feature. So if you're Mr. Big Money Bags, this doesn't really apply to you. Point of sale is another big piece of functionality that might make a difference in your decision-making process. Although point of sale terminals are an option on BigCommerce, Shopify has a fully integrated solution directly from Shopify themselves, and that can make your life a lot easier if point of sale is important to you. So if you plan on selling goods in some sort of physical store, pop-up shop, or something similar, then this could be a big check mark on the Shopify side of your comparison. Now, this next one is not really so much a feature of the platform itself as it is a benefit of the community that's grown up around Shopify. With Shopify heavily advertising itself to those merchants just getting started, it's really grown a community of providers catering to the dropshipping market. That means the tools, resources, and knowledge to help you grow your dropshipping brand are more readily available on the Shopify platform. Although dropshipping is not exclusive to beginning stage entrepreneurs, those just getting started in e-commerce are much more likely to exclusively dropship products. The cost structure of the platform and ease of getting going with Shopify is very appealing to this market. So if you're just getting started and looking for the cheapest, quickest, and easiest way to get a dropshipping store up and going, Shopify is a clear winner. Even if you're a more established merchant and dropshipping is a big part of your business, then you may find the marketplace tooling to be a better fit for your needs. But you'll need to do some research just to be sure. And the second reason to choose Shopify versus BigCommerce are that there are more apps in the app marketplace. Now, there are significantly more third-party apps available for Shopify than for BigCommerce. Some BigCommerce supporter, I'm sure, is going to chime in here and claim that BigCommerce has more functionality and thus has a lesser need for third-party apps. Now, that's a solid line if you're a slick salesperson trying to persuade somebody to choose your e-commerce platform. But whether that's true or not in your particular case really depends on the functionality that you're looking for, so it's tough to generalize an answer. So we'll base this just on statistics alone. So just based on statistics, if you want some random piece of functionality that the core platform doesn't provide, there's a stronger chance that someone in the Shopify marketplace provides that functionality. So if you geek out on perusing third-party apps for additional functionality, then Shopify's got what you need, baby. Oh yeah, enjoy that marketplace. At some point, if you're serious about e-commerce, you're going to want to accomplish something that your cart of choice just won't do. Having a large ecosystem of apps might be just the thing that makes your needed functionality affordable and keeps you from having to pay to have it custom developed. Worst case, it's a safety net if budget is your biggest concern. Sure, these apps can cost money, but are oftentimes much, much cheaper than trying to create that functionality on your own. And the third reason to choose Shopify over BigCommerce is that there are no limits on the amount of sales for your store. If you're happy with the features of your Shopify store, then you can just keep growing that store without having to upgrade to a more expensive plan. You're a smart merchant. So I'm sure sooner or later you'll figure out that some limitations holding you back and decide to upgrade to the robustness of a larger plan. But there's no one forcing you to make that decision. You can do it on your own time. The majority of Shopify's money comes from payment processing, so they don't really give a damn about your measly little subscription revenue. BigCommerce, on the other hand, doesn't push you into an in-house payment processor or charge transaction fees. That means the subscription income is a big part of their revenue, so they definitely care. Understandably so. A man's got to eat. But because of that, their pricing is unfortunately based on your sales volume. For instance, their cheapest plan allows you to do $50,000 a year in sales. Once your sales for the preceding 12 months goes over that amount, they'll require you to upgrade to the next tier. Now, that should be a smooth process. It's not like you have to rebuild your whole site or anything. It's just a flip of a switch. But it does give you less control over which plan you're on and what your costs are. You're not allowed to choose a plan based solely on the features provided in that plan like you can with Shopify. And the next reason to choose Shopify over BigCommerce is theme availability. Traditionally, one of the biggest costs associated with a new website build is dialing that theme in just perfectly. It can cost thousands, tens of thousands of dollars if you're designing and building it from scratch. Now, I don't have that kind of cheddar laying around, and probably you don't either. But luckily, you don't need to if there are cheaper options available. Now, BigCommerce has some nice themes on their marketplace, so it's not like you don't have any good theme options over there. But Shopify is on a whole nother level with the quantity and quality of the themes available. Often, for the price of taking my family down to the local Starbucks for a whole bunch of mocha frappuccino's, you can have a clean design to use as the basis of your online business. That can cut your overall build costs significantly and allow you to use that money for something that moves the needle or perhaps is more fun, like a nice bottle of whiskey. And the fifth reason to choose Shopify versus BigCommerce is its ease of use. The more flexibility and options that a platform has, the more complicated it is to work on. Shopify was designed from the ground up to be simple, and surprisingly to me, has maintained that focus over the years. The whole business was built to allow merchants to get an e-commerce operation going as quickly and as easily as possible. It'd be real simple for them to lose that focus as other platforms use it against them in their sales and marketing, but they've stayed true to that vision. Now, simplicity is going to come with limitations. When we discuss the benefit of Shopify's competitors, we'll talk about how these limitations can hold you back. BigCommerce is going to sell against Shopify by touting their more robust functionality, but that, by nature, just leads to slightly more complexity. If Shopify's limitations don't apply to your business or don't bother you, then why in the world would you add the complexity that comes with the flexibility of any other platform? If you don't have very technical resources to help you manage your business and simplicity is your jam, then perhaps sticking with the platform built for simplicity is the right call. Now, I'm going to recap these 5 reasons, and then we'll get into discussing the real thing that has me excited about the Shopify platform. So, to recap, 5 reasons to choose Shopify versus BigCommerce are: number 1, functionality differences like abandoned cart emails on the lowest plan and native point of sale integration, and it's better suited for dropshipping. Number 2, it has more apps to add functionality. 3, you get to choose your plan as it's not based on your sales volume. 4 is the variety of high quality themes, and 5 is that it is so damn simple to set up and use. Like seriously, my 9-year-old could build a pretty solid e-commerce business on this thing. Now, all of those are important things to consider if they apply to you, but none of those things are what's feeding my excitement about this platform. What I think really sets Shopify apart is its vision for the future. All of the other e-commerce platforms are trying to be the best traditional e-commerce platforms they can be, constantly adding new features and trying to sell merchants based on those features. Shopify's vision just seems to be bigger. Now, they haven't revealed their overall plans, but you can see the building blocks starting to shape up. They recently rebranded ShopPay. They have a very young fulfillment network they're building, and obviously a very popular e-commerce platform. In all of their marketing and the stories that they're out there seeding about themselves, they aren't really comparing Shopify to other e-commerce platforms. They're comparing themselves to Amazon. Now, at first, I thought that was arrogance because that comparison doesn't really hold up. But after seeing some of these pieces start to come into place, I really think now that it's a clue about what they're trying to build. And I don't know if they'll eventually tie all of the building blocks together with an actual marketplace to compete with Amazon, but it's obvious that they're building towards something exciting. Now, I'm not advising you to make important decisions about your business based on speculation of Shopify's plan that may or may not ever come to fruition. but it's definitely something to keep a check on. With BigCommerce and Shopify, you really have to get into the weeds a bit to understand the differences in the two, which is best. Really, again, dependent completely on your needs, but hopefully this gave you a little insight as to the benefits of Shopify and helped you make that decision. As promised, I've also created a video outlining 5 reasons why BigCommerce might be a better fit for you, and I'm going to pop that up on the screen here in just a minute. If you're considering these 2 platforms, then give that video a watch and hopefully it'll help clarify the other side of the argument made here. And most definitely let me know your thoughts in the comments of this video. Do not let my opinion be the only one that's heard. Who knows? This might be the 1 in a million time I'm completely wrong, and this is your chance to point it out. It happens. It's also always helpful if you'll hit that thumbs up button, or I guess the thumbs down button if you really hate what we're doing here. I appreciate you watching. If you're interested in staying up to date in the latest in enterprise e-commerce or taking your e-commerce skills to the next level, then consider hitting that subscribe button, tapping that notification bell, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.